Well, I think it's trying to break away from everything that's been very structured and sort of what I'm wearing, like the power suit, the Ivana Trump look.
Hello, I'm Tim Blanks for Style.com. Today we're looking at a Chanel show from spring 1993. We seem to be spending a lot of time in this period with Throwback Thursdays. I personally think it's really interesting to look back and see all these weird things that you didn't pick up on at the time. For example, I wouldn't necessarily have said that this was Karl doing Calvin. But looking back, you do see quite a lot of visible underpants and waistband action and so on. And it kind of makes sense to me that that would be Karl having a look around at what was going on in the rest of the world. And he is such an omnivorous consumer of culture. And he is very, very clever at making his own comment on it.
A very new kind of sexuality we're seeing on the runway.
Big word, huh? You know, it was clean, safe sex, let's say.
Yeah, and fresh and young and playful.
That is the way it should be, yeah?
I think there's another subtext emerging in this show. We've talked about the supermodels a lot and about how Gianni Versace was the first designer to really use them on the catwalk, make these women super by combining editorial and catwalk models. Lagerfeld is credited or blamed for being the designer that actually diffused the supermodel bomb. He felt that what was he doing making these girls' careers when it was supposed to be about him and his clothes? This is the legend anyway. I think in this show you can see maybe the beginning of that process, that there's a sort of slight dialing down of the superstar effect.
I think we're going to see not only a change in the clothes, but like a change in the models. I mean, those sort of big, aggressive, sexy-looking girls are going to go on a diet.
So it's more towards Kate Moss, and it's more towards the girl.
Softer, yes, and I think because we saw so much aggressive sexuality in the 80s in the clothes and everything very short and very tight, I just feel that's really the big message here, that we're moving away from that.
And since we're talking about diffusing power, I think Karl also diffused the power suit in this collection. It was something very amusing, I thought, to see Sandra Bernhard parading down the catwalk as Coco Chanel.
I think it's about elegance and femininity and grace.
The Chanel show was a real benchmark of the season. You could see a lot of the undercurrents that were washing around fashion brought into one place and really pushed forward. The culture of the underpant was definitely celebrated on this catwalk. That kind of went with the sportiness, I think, the airy, athletic feel of the collection itself. So maybe here we can see the first inklings of a change that's gonna come. Karl does Calvin. How does that mix work for you? Please leave your comments below, and please subscribe to the Style.com YouTube channel.